Your final speech this semester is going to be based on your work with a recitation text. And these are challenging, wordy, difficult chunks of English prose and poetry that are designed to help you do a couple things. I think recitation texts are really useful as a technical tool because the language is so difficult. Here's your packet. You're going to all see this online in a really ugly PDF version. So the language is very dense and very difficult. So it gives our mouths and our brains a chance to do it like an agility course, if you will, where we have to really work both at the musculature and vowel and phonation of challenging words, but also with a kind of agility of thought and image that really serves us when we're doing all kinds of other public presentation and platform skills work. You have a packet this week to go through and read. And that's a really challenging assignment. I think there's about 20 or 30, 15, 20 pages of texts. They are, most of them are relatively recent, 20th century, 19th and 20th century. There's a couple really old ones in there. And they have been chosen as examples of texts whose language is so rich that if it was the only thing that you ever learned by heart, I could die feeling responsible professor, which is to say they're really beautiful, very dense, very interesting, and very charged. In the past, we have required students to memorize these texts. And that is certainly an option. I hardly recommend it. It's hard. There's, memorizing 20 lines is a challenge and takes an awful lot of focus and an awful lot of motivation. In this class, because we're working via video, I'm going to suspend the requirement for full memorization. But if you choose to read it in your final, we're going to be actually working on these recitation texts on how to read a text effectively and also be on screen. So first option is to memorize it line by line, and we'll show you some tricks on how to do that. The second option is to have the first couple lines memorized, the last few lines memorized, so that you can still speak and understand the text with authority, but also not commit the entire thing to memory, although it's a really good practice. So this week, what I simply want you to do is I want you to review and look at the texts. I'll be, I guess, taping little mini lectures about each text, going over word for word, and that will be interesting to you if that's your chosen text. What I'd like you to do for this week is I'd like you to read all of them, skim them, read them carefully, as much or as little as you have patience for, but I'd like you to come back with 3 of the texts that you like the most. So you're going to give me a choice of 3 that for some interest, at some level, they have a claim to your attention. You like the image, you like the idea, you think it's a lovely thought. So you get to pick 3. And then once I see what your 3 are, I will assign you 1. And it may be one of your top 3 or not. I may give one to you that's simply good for you. And since I'm the professor, I get to assign the text. So I will consider your interest. I will consider your preferences. But I will assign you a text that I think is going to be particularly good for your voice, for your brain, and for your final recitation. So I won't take the time in this video to go over them. There's a chunk of, but I encourage you to, and I will look for those top 3 choices in the assignment later this week. So, okay, there's your recitation text. You got a little touch of the vowel dance, and you've got some recitation text to look at. This will be kind of an ongoing assignment that will contribute to some of the other stuff that we'll be doing each week. Okay, have a good one. See you next time.